Washington, D.C., February 14, 1876. A lawyer representing Alexander Graham Bell hand-delivers a patent application to the U.S. Patent Office for what Bell describes as a harmonic telegraph, a device that can transmit vocal sounds. However, Bell's is actually the second patent filed that same day for what later becomes known as the telephone.
Alexander Graham Bell is generally credited with inventing the telephone. It's interesting to note that a man named Elisha Gray seems to have invented a similar device right about the same time that Bell did. Bell's invention involved speaking to one piece of equipment that was not connected to the part that allowed one to hear. Gray's device involved those two pieces being connected. And in fact, that's the way telephones work today.
How is it that two inventors came up with the same revolutionary idea at the exact same point in history? Such a patent had never been filed before anywhere in the world, and yet two are filed on the same day. Could this be evidence that there really is an Akashic record, a universal mind that certain people are able to tap into? Bell and Gray each charged that the other had stolen his ideas, but there is no dispute that both geniuses had been independently developing the concept of the telephone for years. This amazing story is not unique. In fact, independent simultaneous invention happens surprisingly often.
Throughout history, there's been this odd phenomenon of multiple people discovering the same thing at about the same time, even though they're separated and they don't know what the other person is doing.
In 1922, two Columbia University sociologists, William Ogburn and Dorothy Thomas, published an academic paper entitled, "Are Inventions Inevitable?" Their research found at least 148 instances of simultaneous inventions in which the creators knew little or nothing about their rivals' work.
You had Wallace and Darwin both independently coming up with evolution. And you had calculus independently discovered as well.
There's multiple people who discovered oxygen. There's multiple people who invented the periodic table. It's a very surprisingly common phenomenon.
Ogburn and Thomas concluded that if the geniuses behind many inventions had died at birth, their discoveries would not have been lost to history. Others would have made similar discoveries at about the same time.
We often have the expression that an idea that's about to be discovered is in the air. Some concept, some experiment, it's just sort of in the air, little bits and pieces are floating around, and someone just has to bring all of that together to make the new discovery. Now, it has been suggested that maybe it is somehow physically in the air. There's some sort of information that the human mind can tap into to make something like this happen.